When watching Tottenham Hotspur, there is a very obvious way to beat Spurs. They play in a very naive way. Now, whether Pep Guardiola will play like this or not is a different question. Pep Guardiola has his ways and he can be stubborn, but this is how I think personally we would destroy Tottenham. Even if we are bad, they are worse. Remember that. We might be bad, but they are worse. If we play correctly, use their weaknesses against them, we can destroy them. And this is how. Now, the players, I'm not very sure about. The system is pretty much what I'm trying to get. I want a 5-2, well, I guess you could call it a 3-5, but a 5-2, 1-2 is what I'm gunning for here. So, why would I want this system? It's because with this system, we can defend incredibly deeply, and Spurs cannot break down a deep block. Now you're gonna have Rico Lewis here on that right back area, where he's been questionable all season. However, this is a back five. If they get past Rico Lewis, they have to get past Husanov. And if they get past Husanov, Gonzalez can drop deeper, or Diaz might be there, and now they have to get past Diaz. If there's any runners, Kovacic will pick them up, Gonzalez will be there to help defend. This is incredibly deep block defending, and Spurs cannot handle that. They have proven to be incapable of breaking down deep blocks over and over. Furthermore, Son is kind of washed, so he's not my biggest fear. My biggest fear is actually on this left hand side, where I have Grealish playing, perhaps controversially. And the reason why is not because I like Grealish, that's not the reason. It's because I think he's better than the alternatives. Savinho and Doku don't strike me as incredibly defensive. For all Grealish's faults, he can defend incredibly well. So we need that defending from Grealish there. Grealish can also drag a ball up the pitch very well. We know that of him. But he is a bit too slow sometimes. That can be a problem. However, we have Marmoush ahead of him. He has played balls into the box for the goal of De Bruyne. And now I'm trying to remember against who was it? It wasn't Newcastle. The ball into Gvardiol against Real Madrid. That's who it was against. Yes, the ball into the box against Real Madrid. Gvardiol had it onto Haaland. Haaland scored. So, or chested onto Haaland. So, Grealish can play balls forwards, even if he's not very great at the moment. So that's why I have Grealish. If you'd rather Aki, maybe you can have maybe you can have this, right? Grealish over here. Oh my days. Stop. You can have this as well. That's fine. I just don't want to play both Ake and Diaz because both of them are a bit injury prone at the moment. I want to rotate them with each other. I want Diaz to play the first half, and if we have a comfortable lead, let's say 2 goals, Ake can come on for the Diaz then and play the game out, and that way we minimize the risk of injury to either one of them, right? So that is why I have Grealish. Whether you agree or disagree with that, tell me down below. But I also have Kovacic, Gonzalez here. Now I'm again not sure about this because the problem is we can't get too defensive. The idea is to counter-attack, and when we counter-attack, we will have a system somewhat like this. And we're pretty much going to push up, and as you see, Lewis is going to go inside, Savinho is going to go to the wide areas, but Savinho being in this top 2 means if a ball goes over top, he can run into the middle, or he can run into the wide area, depending on what we need from him. So that's why he's a bit more central here on paper, but realistically, he will be mostly on the right here, with Lewis cutting inside a bit more. And then on the left side, we're going to have pretty much the same. Grealish holding the width. That's about all he's good for when he's on the wings. Maybe you can have actually Grealish. Maybe you can do Grealish. Let Grealish cut inside. And then you can have Gonzalez on left back, which I've explained that in other videos. Then you have Kovacic in that DM role. And then if they break down the left, Gonzalez can stop any breaks. If they break down the middle, well, Gonzalez simply comes down to the midfield, and Grealish can go down into that left back spot. So it's a very fluid system. You can swap players around, but the goal is to get a shot from distance, if possible, from one of these players. And Kovacic, Gonzalez, Gvardiol can all get a shot from distance. Or, if they're on a counter, to get a ball through here to one of the fast players forwards, and then maybe they can cut the ball back to McAtee or Foden if you prefer, but Foden has not been playing well, so I will have McAtee there. Also, if McAtee has a good game, we may see him picked up by Leverkusen. That's an entirely different conversation. Or what about Matheus Nunes? For all the lack of qualities that he possesses, which is certainly many, he is decently fast and he can finish. So you can really tweak this, but I think we don't need to have the best players on the pitch to beat Tottenham. I think even having systematic players today or tomorrow will be better than having the best players. Because obviously, this is not our best team. Player for player, this is not the best team. But if you actually look at how Tottenham play, and if you have watched Tottenham, again and again, Tottenham have surprised me with how terrible they are in breaking down a deep block and handling transition. So if we can cook them on transition, and again, Pep will probably not play this way, but if we can adopt some of these ideas into our usual playing style, not completely copy this, but adopt some of these ideas into our playing style, then we may actually beat Tottenham soundly. I want Tottenham to have 70% of the ball and lose 3-0, like they have done quite a few times this season. When they lost with that rocket score against Liverpool, what was it, 5-1 or something like that? They had most of the ball. I want them to have most of the ball. I want to hit them on the break. I want to play nasty defensive football. And I know it's not Man City's way, and I know Pep probably won't do that. But if there is ever a time to, for one game, change it up and put the onus on someone else, it is Tottenham. Every manager in the Premier League knows how to beat Ange Postecoglou's teams. So this is the game where I would say, personally I would say, do it. Just go defend like a motherfucker. Because, let's be honest, we tend to lose at this ground. I was going to say White Hart Lane. It's not called White Hart Lane anymore, is it? We tend to lose at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If we can draw at this stadium, let's be honest, most of our fans will be over the moon with a draw. I'm not going to be happy with that. Simply because we need more to stay in top 4. But we'll probably lose, if I'm being honest with you. So if we can at least set up in a better way, that helps. And maybe Tottenham is even worse than I realize. But the problem is with Tottenham, they turn up against Man City. And I don't want to give them a chance to turn up. I think the way to beat them is so obvious. And if we don't even try to adapt to Tottenham's game, which is so easily broken down if you adapt to it, then I think that's incompetent management. Disagree with me if you like, but this is not a great system. Let me just be honest. This is not a great system. You could probably think up better systems. Maybe a 4-5-1 could work better. Maybe you could have a 4-3-2-1. Like a pyramid shape. That could maybe work, or anything maybe different. You could probably think up a lot of different systems. But it's the idea that matters. The system is not what matters. Listen, Pep Guardiola will figure out a better system if he decides to adapt his ideas. But the idea is what matters. Get these counterattacks going, get defensive players on the pitch so they can't break us down, and make sure there are a few clinical players on the pitch. And make sure there are a few players who can take a shot from distance on that pitch. Like these guys. That is the idea here. You know what the thing is here? After the Liverpool game, I felt like Pep Guardiola made a few poor decisions, but mostly it was better than what we've seen before this season. And we simply lost because Liverpool is way better than us player for player, and they have tactically figured everything out. And maybe if we had Haaland, go back to that Liverpool review, I guess. Maybe if we had Haaland, we win, maybe we don't, but here's the thing. If Haaland is not fit, counter-attacking football still favors Marmoush. If Haaland is fit, well, now you just go to a 4-4-2, or I guess you would go to a 4-4-1, and you transition it into a 4-3-3, with Haaland on the counter-attack, Marmoush playing off of him. It's that easy. It's that easy if Haaland is fit. And we should still cook. But the idea should be there. I'm waffling at this point, aren't I? Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell me down below if you agree or disagree, yeah, but I just think that this Tottenham game, we have to win. Because it's just so winnable. It's so winnable. If you want to adapt as a manager, this is the game to show you can do it. Every manager can look like a genius against this guy. Ange Postecoglou is stupid. Like, I'm sorry for saying it. He is stupid. There are better coaches in League 2. And I don't mean League 2. I don't mean the Championship. I mean League 2. EFL, English Football League 2. You get me? That's how bad Tottenham is. So, we should be able to, or, well, not Tottenham, but like Ange. We should be able to outclass this guy. And all I'm begging for here is, Pep, don't be stubborn. I know you're a stubborn goat. Please, Pep, for once. For once. I know you hate counterattacks, but for once. Consider a counterattack. Okay? Thank you, Pep. That's it for me. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, as I said earlier. Helps channel out a ton, and I will pray, and I will be greatly disappointed. I'm well assured. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.